This map is a high expert map called the entire state of California in summer, and despite its looks, it's somehow crazier than maps like #ouch and Bloody Puddles. Now you may be asking, how is this hard? It's just a medium length path, balloons move left to right. You must be crazy to think this is even comparable to #ouch or Bloody Puddles. And for the first 39 rounds, you're absolutely right. The early game for this map is by far one of the easiest expert list maps I've ever done. So much so that I can save up 8k by the time I reach round 40. But round 40 is when the gimmick comes into play. Balloons can only be popped on the left side, and Moabs can only be popped on the right side. And since every Moab eventually splits into balloons, the map should be nearly impossible. One of the solutions, and arguably the best solution, is Palokai. And there's 3 things you should know about Palokai and Condor. First, when Palokai or Condor picks up any balloon or Moab, it becomes fully damageable while in transit. It ignores the map's invincibility rules until it's dropped back down. Once it lands, balloons re-inherit the path's properties, or in this case, invincibility. The second thing is that normally when a Moab is killed, it splits into 4 different children. But if a Moab is grabbed and destroyed midair, it doesn't split normally. It only leaves 1 child behind instead of the 4, and the other 3 just disappear, which is honestly just insane. And last, when Moabs are killed midair, the remaining child still gets carried to wherever Palokai or Condor was taking it. Now that we're using Palokai on this map, it doesn't sound that hard. And honestly, it isn't. The whole map becomes manageable if you properly budget and have enough damage for the bad. But black bordering is a different story, because projectiles just go through the fire hitting the Moabs on the other side. And if enough shots hit a Moab on the wrong side of the map, the run is instantly over. So even with the right strategy and proper ability timings, attempts would randomly die. After testing multiple setups, different placements, different timings, the solution ended up being the dumbest possible thing. And somehow, it reduced the RNG to basically 0. So let's get into the run, and I'll show you how I blackboarded this map. So to start the run, I use an engineer and a dart monkey. And you'll see throughout the run that I budget pretty efficiently to be able to afford everything I need to win the game. Now for the hero, I chose Striker Jones. Since I used 3 different bomb shooters for this run, he helps buff them along with letting them damage DDTs, which is very helpful. So funny enough, never in my time playing Bloons have I seen the 220 bomb shooter. And honestly, I think it has to be the ugliest cross path in the game. I don't know why, but there's just something about it. It's like not as wide as a mauler, but also just not as skinny as a bomb or a missile, and it just makes it so unsettling. That aside, for round 40 here, I just use a Moab Assassin, and that solves it. Now that we've seen some of the run, the solution to reducing the RNG is just moving the bombs farther away from the middle. I know it sounds obvious, but if they're not closer to the middle, they're just way less likely to have projectiles miss or even reach the Moab. It's a pretty simple solution, but after trying the method, I blackboarded it on my 2nd try, so it's pretty cool, I guess. I got a Condor up for round 50 to deal with the 2 Moabs, and Condor is going to be our mid-game carry till we buy Palokai. So on round 64, I need to use the stun on the first fortified Moab just to get the Moabs grouped together, making this round possible, which is another reason Striker Jones is amazing here. I could have also just moved the positioning of the Condor to drop things off closer, but that would have probably increased the RNG. Funny little thing, when doing my black border run of this map, I had the faster forward mod on, but when I record these videos, I like to not use the faster forward mod. Anyways, this run took an hour and a half to record because of all the stalling that Condor and Palokai do. So for round 80, I buy another Moab Assassin. That and Striker Jones are enough to pop the ZOMG layer. As you can see, I'm just spamming all the stuns, the refresh for the missiles, and all the missile abilities. And then after the ZOMG layer is popped, I've basically just won the round. On 84, I finally get Palokai. When using Palokai, you really want to get it up before round 85 to deal with the two ZOMGs. But now that we have Palokai, I sped up the video by 12 times just so it doesn't take forever. So before 90, I get a max degree Palokai, which just makes Palokai so much better in many different ways. I could have probably won with a lower degree, but maxing it out was just way more fun and probably a lot more reliable. On 91, we have to change the targeting of Palokai to a closer spot temporarily, because for some reason on these next 3 rounds, it just reduces the RNG down to 0. I don't know why. For 95, I get up 2 Bloons Sabos, and what this does is allow Palokai to group all the DDTs together just a lot better, making it so that it really only has to do 3 trips once both Sabos run out, allowing it to be a lot more consistent. And then for 99, I just do the same thing as 95, but instead I just use one Sabo and then just have the other Sabo in my pocket in case I need it. And finally, for round 100, we get up Mob Eliminator and just spam all of our abilities until the bad layer pops. Alternatively, I could have also just bought 4 more Moab Assassins and just spam those, and that does the job basically just as well, but Mob Eliminator is cooler and does a little bit more damage. So yeah, that's this stupid RNG filled map done. It's honestly a really fun map when you aren't going for a black border, because the gimmick is genuinely interesting and makes you kind of think about what you're doing. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Oh, and subscribe.